am so excited that you can join me. I made sure that I am going to post this video tonight before Monday morning when the markets opened. And I want to talk about the GME short squeeze saga. Now, this has been going on my mind for a long time, actually not for a long time, since Friday, and I can't stop thinking about it. My mind's been churning and churning and churning, and I really want to say what's on my mind, what is my prediction before Monday when the markets open, because it's a lot less exciting and it's going to be hindsight. But right now I want to make some predictions and see if they materialize. Now the first thing about this GME short selling is that it's taught me a lot about how Wall Street handles their business, their hedge fund business. And now that we have the power to do the same thing, they want to shut us down. They are pulling every dirty trick they can possibly do to save their asses. Right? Now I'm not going all that detail because everyone else has covered it and they are probably going to do a better job than I am. I know, that's unfortunate. Plus, I have a lot I want to say that I want to make a video on. So I will probably provide some links so that you can link to other videos that explain the current situation. Now, I actually wrote down so I can keep myself organized because my mind right now is just all over the place, right? And it has exposed us short selling. And one of the questions I asked, why do we short sell? What's the point of short selling? What kind of value? Why is it justified? And I actually did some research on this, right? And I think, from my conclusion, based on reading a bunch of resources and watching people on the news network talk, there is no real good reason. There's the theoretical reason. I don't know if it's been proven. People say it's been proven. These experts say short selling makes our market more efficient. And what they mean by more efficient is it makes it more transparent. Because when you can see the people betting against a stock and there's people betting for the stock, it gives you a better idea of what the true value of a stock is, right? Because the more people bet against it, the less value it will demand, right? So if you see a lot of people betting against a stock, you're not likely to go into it. And that's why they allow shorting, in theory. And they also justify the fact that when you're shorted, when you see a stock that's heavily shorted, it generally suggests some kind of cooking the books that other people have looked at. And then they should be able to capitalize on that gain and sort of inform the community that the stock has a problem. Now in practice, that is very, very rare. Why is that rare? Because to be on a public exchange such as the New York Stock Exchange, your financial statements, your paperwork have to be looked at by a third party before you can even publish it. And there's also a high risk, if you do such a thing, that someone's going to sue your ass, your company's going to get lawsuit, going to get criminal charges, you can lose everything. So it's not every day that people are going to rig their own statements. Now given the chance without any consequences, of course they are. But I just explained the consequences and the controls in place to stop this from happening, right? So what's way more likely is these hedge funds with millions and billions of dollars are going to manipulate the market through either their shorting. And this short thingy, this short squeeze and these short sellers, this has taught me a lot about how the media operates as well to sort of be these hedge funds' propaganda machine, the financial institution investors, right? Because what we're doing, what Reddit is doing is no different, in fact probably more transparent than what these a-holes on CNBC are doing. They go onto their platform, they talk to people, they try to influence the market. Influence is a nice word. I think it's more manipulation, right? When they say something is good to drive up the prices, or they say something is bad to lower their prices, after they already made their bets. They are trying to convince you to bet with them to increase their chances of success. Right? This is no different than what's being done on Reddit or any of these forums. People have done their research, they published their research, they made videos on their research. And it's up to us as the consumer or the community to, to audit it, to look at it, to review it, to see if it makes sense, to do our own due diligence, right? We are responsible, and not all of us are responsible investors, but a lot of people are responsible investors. After all, it is your money. And nobody wants to lose money. So they're going to do everything they can to protect themselves. And the next thing I want to talk about is, I don't think the squeeze is over. I personally don't think. It's only been a few days, because I checked online. If you go online and check the short volume, right, the amount of positions outstanding that are still short, it is still huge. It has decreased by about 10 million shares, right? But it's still, I think it's almost 70% still shorted, right? So a lot of positions out there that haven't been covered. And what I think is happening is a lot of hedge funds are still holding on to these short positions, thinking they can outlast you. Now obviously we are going to prove them wrong, right? I hope so. And the next thing I want to talk about is, so I think if we can hold strong, basically for the next few weeks, it's going to cause them a lot of pain, a lot of psychological pain. It's going to make their balance sheets so red. It's like someone punched them in the nose and they're bleeding all over it. Alright, so we got to hold strong. But the other thing is, right now GME is trading around $325, and by Monday, I would not be surprised if it stays at that level. In fact, I would be surprised if it goes down. I think it's going to go up, but that's just what I think. That's just my opinion based on what I see as the driver of the sale, of the price. Now, now you think about it, is GME GameStop worth $325? And I think a lot of people are going to say yes. Now, based on the fundamentals, in the old business sense, old valuation models, no, GME is not worth $325. But there's another intangible, intrinsic value that's not being factored in. Because by buying GME and holding it, you are essentially saying to the Wall Street elites, these hedge funds, these rich billionaires, a big F you. And that F you itself is probably worth $300. I'm pretty sure if you go talk to someone on the outside, especially on Reddit, they think there is value in that FU. They are more than happy to spend a week of paycheck to screw some of these billionaires over. If I can make them cry, $300 is a bargain. Now the next thing I want to talk to you about is, the media portrays this as a David versus Goliath thing. It started on Reddit and we moved the market. We moved the market on GameStop. In reality, I think we probably started it, but I don't think there's enough retail investors on Reddit with enough capital to move it from $20 to $300, triple-digit gains within a day or two. Or maybe it was a week. I haven't followed it completely. I'm not, full disclosure, I'm not invested in GameStop. or GameStop, sorry. So I have no skin in the game in terms of the actual financial well-being of this company. But what I do have a vested interest in is seeing billionaires hurt for inflicting pain on us back in 2008, causing the financial crisis, and then getting bailed out with our own money. It's like getting hit in the face and then giving their bully medicine to heal his fist. That hurt. And I'm willing to hit them back. And I'm willing to encourage you to do the same. So I am cheering you guys on. But like I said, there's not enough financial or retail investors to move the stock that fast and that much. What's more likely to happen is a myriad of factors. I think algorithmic trading probably played a role. It probably caused a stir in the market. And a lot of these, robo traders or more technical traders, anyways, their logic is relatively simple. They look at market movements and they see that there was a slight tick, and they probably all follow roughly the same algorithm, and hence probably a lot of institutional money went into GameStop. A lot of hedge funds probably went into it as well. And so it's not all the little guys' game, but as long as the people at the top are getting hurt, I am happy. And for those of you, right, so I think that regardless of what happens, I think even these institutional investors are likely to hold on, because if they sell their shares too fast, the stock is going to plummet. Now, for those of you who are holding on to your shares with your diamond hands, your grips of steel, and not letting go, it's important that you also protect yourself. And one suggestion I have, now take this with a grain of salt, I'm not a financial professional, right? I'm not licensed to give financial advice, and this is only my opinion, that you guys should consider buying some put options to cover your bases, right? So what a put option is, it is an option that lets you sell your shares at a certain price, and depending on the price point, the price of the option is going to change, right? It depends on what price point you set your put option as. I think the higher, it depends on the market condition as well, but you're paying a little bit of money and you lock in your gains, okay? So the money drop, if the stock price drops below, let's just say $300, you can still sell it at $300, right? So you lock in your gain, and for those of you who bought it when it was $20 or maybe $5, you already made a shit ton of gain, and there's no need to risk it all. And by buying options, you're not going to impact the share price, because if you don't exercise your option, nothing's going to happen. If you let it just expire, and depending on how long you want to hold it for, right? You go buy an option for that period, and you'll still be, if the stock goes up, you'll still make more money, minus the price of the options. So I think that is the way to go. Let me know what you think in the comment section. But yeah, all the power to you for all those who are holding GME stocks and not selling. Alright, you are doing a great service for the little guys. Not everyone has money to invest and throw away into this stuff, because we all know that investing in GME at this point, $325, is risky. And people who are doing it are willing to risk it all just for a big FU. So finally, I got that off my chest. And I'll see you next time. And I'll probably make a video sometime next week to reflect on my prediction, which is that the price is going to go up. I think the squeeze is not over. I think it barely started. I think most of it is not from the squeeze. It's just from the robo traders that are doing this. These algorithmic traders that are more technical than fundamental analysts. So we'll see. Thank you.